Oops. Almost accidentally clicked that. Okay. As the team moves forwards into the next event horizon, after more or less dealing with the matters at hand, you defeated a few lesser worms and one very big dragon. However, it hurt a lot, but ultimately you were triumphant. At the cost of minimal life, your team managed to get to the next stage of heading back to Talen's house. Or at least Talen's homeland. You arrived here at the ancient shrine where most people, when presented to it, or presented by it, often consider it the last, or potentially last refuge of the High Elves. Beings, descendants of the Feywild. Man, blanking on the name. Starts with an E. It's not Eldrazi, but I was thinking Eldrazi.
Eladrin.
Eladrin.
That's what I am.
Former
So
Eladrin born. Thank you. Former Eladrin born turned to nobility. These are the last ruins that most people know of, but one Talon knows that this is just a front to keep, as they would put it, the rabble away. Because I don't see Talon being not overconfident. You just don't automatically succeed in this one. So before you headed out, Talon, you were told about the Guardians in the area and the puzzle to solve on the way to get back home. I'm not going to make it impossible for you, so Talon, go ahead and roll for me history. And you tell me if you have disadvantage based off of how much you would listen to someone else.
Well, it depends, like, well, who was I trying not to listen to or listen to? Exactly?
Probably an elder in the village telling you what to expect out in the wild and how to return home. Someone not of your family, but would not be considered as high-bred as you.
So triple disadvantage.
Well, was I in school at this time? Like, what was supposed to be happening? Where was I?
It was around school time when everyone else was learning things here and there.
Minus 10.
It was about history, huh? Well, no, I'm a wizard. I do like history. That's why I mostly read. But I was it's probably just a straight up roll. Why not? I probably didn't overly listen, but I wouldn't just ignore somebody.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would pretend to listen enough to get by.
Yeah, then just be a flat roll then.
Sorry, I had to reload like my internet real quick. His history finally got back on because, of course, again, like Razzie said something like clear. It's like I'm not gonna work on it.
16's not that bad. All right. Then you remember an old tutor or teacher, I assume old teacher, and you were presented with this, the darn. All right.
His token of appreciation. Anyway, what do I remember?
Yeah. You were talking with an old teacher here and there about how to head out into the wilderness and to explore the world and see if there's anything you can acquire to make the High Elves better than they already are, which would be an impossibility, as often than not, they are often considering themselves to be the pinnacle of society, especially now. But the former teacher did once tell you this more or less riddle. Now, students, remember to head out and to explore the world when you need to. That being said, please remember these words to get back to the city. Let the guards cast their spears to the light, and the sword bearers stand at attention. Let the heads see the life running freely, and there the door to eternity will run. Now, if any one of you would like to discuss a few things here and there, the bell rings and like immediately everyone leaves. Remember my office hours are blah, 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 and then it goes into the background. Like once class is over, you just basically left.
I probably remember at least how to get in and out of the city, I would think, but we'll see, I suppose.
Like the way to get out isn't an issue, it's the way to get back, because they wouldn't want just anyone to get in.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you. I think I would have been back a couple times before, since I'm not necessarily young. But hey, maybe I
Uh,
drink a lot. I've been hitting the head a lot. You know,
like,
I don't know.
honestly, if you did do that, I can see you just going with, uh, what are they called? Attendants to do the things for you. But yeah, here's the wording. It might not be spelled right, but I said it out loud for you. So, what do you do?
I'm like, guys,
Like, you know the layout well enough,
stay
so
out
I
of the
didn't
light.
block anything from you.
I'm like, stay out of the light, and make sure, I don't know, only go by the sword bearers that are standing at attention. I don't know. The head to life running freely, the door to return. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyone else have any ideas? I'm like Gandalf, like in the mind's like I have no memory of this place.
Like, you know for sure that the way to get into the city would be the last room where water is standing around it. Because honestly, when you leave back and forth to outside of the city, you would have attendants and they would do the puzzle for you. They would call you in, basically tell you, the gate is ready, my lord. You would walk in and then just simply walk inside into the other side. So you know specifically uh, that this door, or rather this room, is the room to go to the village itself.
I say yes. It's obviously this way. It sounds like we gotta make the water. If I remember, we gotta make the water run freely. Let the head see life run freely. So somehow we gotta make the water run freely, or if I remember it correctly. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's go.
You begin
I
to move
give
forwards.
I give a sarcastic bow to Tylan and I tell him, "Would you like to go first, my lord?"
No, I wouldn't want you to miss all the good sights. You go ahead and go first. Just try and stay out of the light.
I look in front of me and I see, is there light or shadow in some particular pattern?
There are like some lights here and there because the area are like broken down and decrepit. It's not exactly something that's been kept up. Uh, Taylor, you would know that this is a ruse to like get people distracted. Like, oh, someone's obviously already stolen everything. There's really no need to come back here. But more or less, there's like no pattern of light or shadow that would indicate like a puzzle.
Yeah, go on ahead. Everything's fine.
I guess I'll try following the shadow then, if possible.
Sure. You follow along the left or right side of the wall. As you stand inside, you do see rubble here and there on the ground, pillars going up to the roof, but never fully touched, as some of them are like broken down in half. Others, the tops of them are broken and like completely dusted. Inside, however, you do see like ornamental statues of what appears to be a shield guardian with a spear in hand, two of them specifically in this room to the right and left, two other statues with cross-formed blades at attendant, just pointed towards your direction. Not specifically at you, but like when you come in this room, that's how it feels. When you also move forwards enough, you can also tell that there is a statue of what appears to be an angel with four wings and a staff in the middle of them. And the staff itself seems to be a symbol of the elven god.
Can I study this statue?
Okay. Roll insight. Wait, are you studying it like to see what historical context it is, or like what it's made out of?
Historical context.
Roll history. All right, that's not bad. From what you can tell, this seems to be an angel, but specifically, you can tell that they have the appearance of an elf. Based off of everything you've seen, based off the symbolism and all that, they seem to be an angel from the elven god known as Crowlin Larathan, the leader of the elven pantheon. They themselves depict someone of a cleric with high statue and value. The stats itself indicates that it is someone worshipping the leader and prime leader of the elven pantheon itself.
Do they hold a representation to life?
They are dressed or at least depicted as a cleric. So yeah, I guess so.
From here, what are any of the statues able to be brought to our attention in some form or fashion to this statue here, or
You don't
is
know
it-
that. Like, you're just studying this statue specifically. You've never even touched the other ones.
No, I'm looking around me and I know about there being statues in here.
While you're there, you
around.
do see other statues at attendant with two spears. Two elven blades in the right and left hands. Almost perpendicular to each other, but in a diagonal pattern. I guess crossing themselves is more accurate.
I'm gonna come over to this statue here and look at the workings of it, like how it was built, what it was made of, that kind of stuff. The things a builder would look at when a statue, nothing having to do with history or anything like that. Just oh, this looks very nice, and
Yeah, go
try
ahead
to
and
see
roll
if there's
investigation.
anything that may be able to be moved on the statue, like in kind of like little lever type things. I'm gonna end up doing this to most of the statues, but just looking around it basically. But I'm sorry, what'd you say? Investigation?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Where's my investigation?
From what you can tell, the paint itself on the statue you're currently looking at is the biggest statue there. It does seem to have a depiction of a very burly, which is very rare, elven tribesman leader of the primal state, like before, like Eladrin, before high elves, like the primal elves. But
Okay.
you can tell that they have a spear, shield, a guardian, more or less. They have fake painting on them to make them look more golden. Who knows? Maybe someone was cheaping out, but that's honestly all you can tell at first glance.
Gotcha. No problem.
It is pretty heavy. It is made out of stone, but not any stone you've currently seen.
Okay.
But yeah,
I want to do the same to this guy over here, and then I'll let somebody else take over.
all right. Go ahead and roll another investigation.
I almost tried to intimidate the statue.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Hey, Kaithal,
Yes, sir.
lift with your legs.
Is that a rule in your world? I will do that.
Okay.
And I will try to lift with my legs.
Sure.
No, same thing. Investigating, just checking it out.
Yeah, I
seeing
know.
if there's anything I can see.
As you begin to investigate it, you remember the poem. Let the guards cast their spears to the light, and the sword bearers stand at attention. Let the ahead see the life running freely, and there the door to eternity will run. Based off of the poem, more or less, it's not exactly poem-esque. You can tell that these two carry two swords, like sword bearers would, but they're already drawn out and at attention. Based off of that, you can also tell that this coating on them is a metallic paint job, but again, maybe someone was skimping out. But the weight and visibility of everything depicted is high valued and high regarded, which is weird because even if it's just made out of stone and like a terrible paint job, it would still be valuable. So it's surprising no one has stolen it. So when you like go to see if it's movable, like, maybe it can't be moved. You're able to move it more or less freely, but it does take some time to do so. Like, it would be
Okay.
hard to move it, but not impossible, even for one person.
Okay. I'm not going to try to move it anywhere at this point.
Yeah. You can definitely
but
turn
I
it,
will.
from what you can tell. Moving it, maybe a little bit more force.
I am going to holler out to them what I found that they can be rotated, or moved in certain ways, but not. Well, I guess rotated. I'm not going to talk about moving it, but
That's fair.
or
Total,
not yet anyway.
is there anything you're doing?
Hmm. Is there like light coming down anywhere in here?
There's light coming down everywhere. The building itself is decrepit. It's not exactly well maintained. Currently, you do have like 3 pockets of light from the roof where you're currently at, casting shadows, like here, here, and one big one this way.
And
Well, casting light.
like, did any of them like, do any of them appear to have been like purposeful, or are they all just holes in the roof?
Go ahead and roll perception.
Okay. That is here. 21.
From what you can tell, they were purposeful, but not for any true meaning. Based off of what you see like edged marks where someone has cut into the roof and then bashed through it to make it fall. Definitely, this was made to look like it was broken down before it truly had any chance to. But it doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason.
Gotcha. Like, it was just literally somebody distressing the building.
Yes.
Cool.
Question
Yes.
to my party members. Guys, do you think that maybe these statues are supposed to reflect light in some pattern?
It could very well be possible, but it did say avoid the light, stay in the dark.
I'll show you it again just in case.
Okay. I was wondering where that went. Let the guards cast their spears of light. Oh, right there. The attention to head.
It's like if there's 2 with spears,
Okay.
we can rotate them so that
Yeah.
their spears are pointing at the light, and then the ones with swords, I guess we just need to make sure that they're all
Now,
in a pose that makes them stand at attention if they're posable.
that's true. There's also 4 of the statues just beyond the angel statue as well. Sword bearer statues. So maybe they all have to. I don't know where light points would be unless the light itself is the angel.
Well, I mean, the only reference to light is the
Let the guards cast their spears to the light.
yeah, so, and it would only matter for the spear people.
Oh yeah, I guess not the sword wielders and sword bearers stand at attention. So yeah, make the sword bearers stand at attention. Pose them to where they're standing at attention. And if I run back over to this statue, is this one movable as well? Like posable?
You begin to
I'm
like
sorry.
move it back and forth to see if you can move it well enough, and it is able to be turned right and left easily enough. But moving it would require some strength, but not impossible. You believe?
Okay. So I will tell that to everybody as well. I don't know how far back we can see into this, and I don't want to metagame.
I will tell you, Talon knows there's like no real traps here. It's just, I want to put it this way. The noble elves believe that anyone that is not themselves is incapable of understanding or comprehending their own mind, so there is no need to kill the lesser folk.
They just don't. They just think they're too stupid to figure it out either way.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we able to see this lion's head at the end of the?
Like when you travel over there, you can.
If we okay, I don't know if we can see it from where we are. Like I said, I don't want
Like
to metagame.
Talon could. I think he has superior dark vision, so I think he can.
Okay, I'm gonna send Duroc around as well, just kind of to survey whatever it sees.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you send a rock like out to explore the entire thing, so you know what's here.
Yeah, he's my scout. If he dies, I'll just bring him back. Okay, so then I will let them know about the lion's head towards the back. Let the head see the life running freely, and I'm guessing that the green part in front of the head is a channel for water. I'm hoping.
It does seem to be a channel
Or
of
is
something.
a channel of some sort. Is there liquid in it right now, or is it dry?
There is a like non-running liquid there that is like lightly touching the head of the statue.
Okay. Dark cancer spirits.
It's a little mossy, little green.
Okay. All right. Dude, all we do is smoke it, bro. It's easy to get in. All right. I'm gonna let everybody else take a second, and I'm gonna think about this a little bit more.
Okay. Talon, what do you do?
Well, I was wondering, like, how can we see that? Like, we can see this like area over there.
You've that is the last doorway to get into your village. So yes, you go in there. You go towards the head of the lion. Go left. Continue to go left. Find like a puddle system where your mages often not like freeze the ground so you don't touch the water, and then go to that room.
Okay, so I can't like see it from where I'm at.
No.
Okay.
But
and, like,
you know of it.
What is this like green? Like this like
like a
stuff?
mossy green water that's like stilly there, like non-moving.
It's stagnant.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And
I
what
don't
is
see any levers or anything.
what's the like dark dot at the end of the green line that's closest to us?
The dark dot seems to look like a small stone, onyx colored, very dark, with some purplish hint or tint to it. Just like in the middle of that.
And can I pick it up?
Do you?
I pick it up.
You pick it up. You now have it in your hand.
Yay! Cool rock.
It is a cool rock.
Does it look special?
It looks expensive. Like, it looks like a jade decoration of not jade. Sorry, like a jade-like decoration, but instead of green, it's purple and onyx color. If you find a artist that can use it as some sort of material, it would go for a lot of money.
Okay, cool.
Can I try something?
Sure.
I'd like to try moving the statues where I'm at and see if there's any sort of reaction.
How do you move them?
I would like to try seeing if the arms can move, and if not, I like trying to move this statue so that they're all pointing towards where the angel is.
Okay. You begin to try to move the arms, but unfortunately they are not movable that way. So you try to turn the statues here and there. You are able to, and you said towards the angel statue?
Yes.
Well, one's already that way, so you just turn one that way instead. You don't hear or sense anything shift or change, other than you just moving the statue.
All right. I'll try to go to the other 4 statues and try moving them towards the angel statue.
Okay. You take your time doing so. I'm going to speed this along. Oops, move that one by accident. You take your time turning them, making sure that if there is a trap, they don't proc immediately. And eventually you do turn like all the statues towards all the spear sword statues towards the middle statue, and nothing changes, nothing shifts, other than you having them diagonally towards them.
Are the gold statues sword bearers?
They're spear bearers.
Then who are the silver statues?
They carry swords.
All right, well, the swords need to be at attention, and the other ones need to be casting their spears to the light. But the gold ones don't move, right?
No, they move.
This one, he
Was-
said they can't be moved easily. If we're moving them out of the spot that they're in.
Yeah.
I go and help Kythal.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to move. I'm gonna spin this one towards the angel as well.
Okay. You help Kythal move the spear bearer towards the angel. And when you do so, you do hear a zzz, like even though it didn't sound like it, stone grating on stone, which you did not hear with the silver statues.
All right.
All right.
Let's go to the other golden statues.
Yep. I'm gonna head over to the other golden statue over there, and with Severus, we will spin it towards the angel.
All right. You do so without too much of an issue, since this one was almost that way anyways. You turn it, and once again, you do hear the grating of stone against stone, and then like a locking mechanism, like got latched in place. You don't know where it came from, but you definitely heard it. Those next to the statue.
Let's go to the angel statue and see if anything changes.
Okay, head over that way.
You come over to the angel statue without too much of an issue, and you can tell that the symbol of the elven, I was about to say elven primordial, of Coralin is like now the symbol itself, more or less half metallic gold. Like the inlined formation of it is gold. Or at least gold painted.
Maybe now we're supposed to do something with the silver statues. Is the water not running up there where the lion statue is?
As you ask that towards Tillen and Tolwyn, nothing just yet. Speaking of Tillen and Tolwyn, what are you two doing?
I was wondering if, like this lion statue like had any like if its mouth could open and water could come out, or if there was anything like a door of some kind on it that could be opened, or if it could be moved or something like that.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm bad at that. Cool. Yep. It's a lion.
You begin to check it out to see if it can move its mouth open. It's like half open right now, so if it could, you think, maybe if I move it more, it'll spew out water. I can't really move it with my hand, so maybe if I stick my head in, you get stuck for like 3 seconds until you get your head out, but nothing automatically changes. But you do hear a shift tone, or at least a shift of rock when you do move your head out of it. You just can't tell where it came from.
Okay. What about Talon?
Just like, yeah, you guys are doing a great job. This is pretty much how it went, and I'm just like whittling wood because I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Fair enough. As you stand at attention to it, you can tell that the statue itself is more or less made out of strange stone that doesn't come from this area specifically. The eyes themselves have glowing golden eyes, but like the paintings themselves, they just seem to be reflective against light holes that are in the roof themselves. But they do cast a weird reflection as if it's moving water, but you don't see any water around you. Even the stagnant water next to the lion's head is not moving, so that wouldn't really make any sense. Maybe it's the light reflection, but you can't honestly tell.
I think the head, in regards to the poem, refers to the life running freely part.
I think you're right about that. But do we have all the spears pointed the right way?
I think
Spears are pointed the right way, but the swords are not aligned yet, or not posed yet. So that is what I'm going to start doing with this one right here.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over there and not help.
I'm I'm gonna holler out to everybody to pose the statues as if they were at attention.
All right, how do you move them?
Let's see. You said this, they look exactly like they do right there. The swords are pointing forward.
Yes, like ceremonially drawn out.
Okay. Are they able to be manipulated to where the swords can be crossed in front of their chest, like an X in front of their chest?
You begin to try to move the hands, and like Cerberus, you don't, or at least rather, you aren't able to move the hands so freely. They don't have like some sort of joint system that allows you to change the position of the hands.
Okay.
Can they be made to face forward or south?
You begin to slowly move them back and forth until you can tell that they are able to spin at close to 360 degrees, close to it, but not perfectly. So you are able to spin them around to, well, certain discretions.
Almost there at any point.
Does Talon remember what it looks like when elven guards are at attention, like at a parade or at a fancy thing? Like, do they do something specific?
That's a smart idea.
That is a good idea. Talon, do you ever bother to look at the rabble when you attend things?
I probably would know what guards would look like if they walk by them all the time. But
yeah. Talon, you remember them like looking towards you, but not at full visibility. They often do not like cross their arms towards you or like stand in salute, but it's always like perpendicular to you. So if you're standing like you are now, they're always like at a horizontal.
Okay, well, I tell everybody that.
Okay.
So make them face
it.
straight out from the wall nooks that they're in.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I was thinking too.
I'll do that as well.
Right? Which way? And facing what?
This one here, I will spin to the left to face me for right now. So that it's facing directly out of the alcove that it's sitting in.
Okay. You do so, and all that does is now have it face towards you. It does look nice, but other than that, nothing is heard or nothing really changes, other than its position.
Okay.
I try following the same with all the other statues.
Yeah, like have the 4 in the angel room face like directly south.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight forward.
Or
straight down. Yeah.
You tell Cerberus this and begin to move them one by one. Ignore them moving. You begin to do so, and when you get them, when you get the first one in that position, you do hear like a little thud, like something landed in place.
I just now got it.
And you do this again and again with the remaining 3 statues in the angel room until you hear 3 more thuds as if they aligned with something.
So the bottom 2, I think Kyathel had the right idea still, like to have them basically facing like diagonally directly out of their nooks, like kind of the one he's next to like southwest and the one on the other side southeast.
Maybe. I'm going to say one of you turns the other statue, I guess, to meet whoever is turning it, and nothing is heard from those.
They could also face straight south. There is like a hallway, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll try making mine face south.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
You begin to do so. I guess technically this does work. You begin to do so, and you do hear like 2 thuds slamming into one another, and then you hear a chunk as if something locked into place.
Nicely done. Anybody have any idea what to do with this line head in the water?
Not just yet.
I thought the water would start once the statues were aligned. Check the angel.
Did I?
You
Oh,
do
yeah,
see
just angel. It's true.
silver lining around the gold marking on the Elven Pantheon symbol. Nothing else, the symbol itself has gotten more metallic looking, but not nothing else changed.
Can I pick it up?
You begin to try to move it, but it is stuck to the staff itself. You try to move the staff itself, and it is like connected to the arms as if it's being grappled, or maybe part of the primal statue itself.
Can I spin the statue?
Technically, yes. You begin to turn it here and there, and you do hear ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. And Kyathel, you do see your statue move, not to attack you. Well, technically it would, because it's moving. Kyathel, roll dexterity.
Okay.
It's not going to be that hard.
Absolutely. Dex save or just... Oh, I guess save. Huh?
Dex save, I guess. Yeah, you're fine.
Cool.
You do see it slowly moving towards you, so on instinct you know, oh, statue moving? Clearly, I have to kill this thing. So you back up before it can strike you, and all it does is go horizontally. West. You're not sure what happened, but you also see the gold one move in the same pattern and go back to the displaced way it looked beforehand. So you guys spend more or less another 10 minutes to put them all aligned together and realign the middle one.
I was going to try to put the angel statue facing the lion head.
Okay. Facing the lion head. I think the puzzle still works if it's that way. Yeah, it should. There's no reason not to. You spin it right round, lock all the puzzle pieces in again. No flowing water, though.
But there's flowing water down here.
Yes. As you go over there, you can tell that there's another lion's man head pouring out water heading into the next adjacent room. If you go horizontally to the right.
Do
How
I?
big is the opening on this lion's mouth?
About basketball sized. Pretty big.
Bigger than
How
the
big
rock?
is that stone that you picked up?
Yeah.
Way bigger than the stone you picked up.
Okay.
A good amount.
Try to stick your head in this one.
I want to see where the water's coming from. I'm gonna stick my head in that.
Okay. I don't think you can drown anytime soon. So you
Just
stick
turn
your
into
head
a
in
fish
there.
If you start to.
Open your eyes, and for a good while, it begins to hurt you. Go ahead and roll a Constitution save. It's not going to be that difficult, but it still might hurt you. 18. Okay. You take like 1 point of damage as a lot of running water is flowing straight towards you. And inside the lion's main head, you can tell that there are 2 symbols inside. One is conjure, and the other one is water. They are currently active, but they're slowly dying out, as if whatever was actively casting it is no longer casting it.
I'm gonna go back up to this lion's head and take a look inside its mouth and see if there's any similar runes that might be damaged or something like that.
You stick your. It's not damaged. It's just like fading light wise. But you stick your head in the other one. Just darkness, no light.
Okay.
You don't have dark vision. You don't really see any differential shadows.
Yeah, I just have produce flame. I use like a torch, so.
Yeah. Like it's not that deep, so you stick your head back out, cast produce flame near it, and with the light you have, you can't see any symbols behind it. And when you put your head back out, you do hear another screeching noise, as if earth on earth is being scraped along each other. But again, you don't know where that came from. It's like subtle.
Wait. I put the rock in the lion's mouth.
You do so. Nothing happens.
Okay. I take it back out.
You take it back out. You now have a rock. It's pretty cool.
Yay. I like the rock. I don't know. Help.
I am going to look in this area, or where all this rubble is, and see if I can find a stone that's about the size that maybe I can. My thought is if I stop the flow coming out of this bottom dragon or bottom lion, then maybe it'll start flowing out of the top lion. So I'm gonna look for a rock and try to shove it in the lion's mouth.
Okay. Eventually, you are able to find a big enough rock. As you look through the rubble, you can tell that the ones, the silver statues that you make stand at attention, like were once standing at attention towards other statues in the middle, but no longer. So you grab one of the big chunks of rock that used to maybe be a statue. You go over towards the lion head, the one that they're currently next to, or the one with water that's currently slowing down.
The one with water that's currently slowing down.
Okay. You go over there without too much of a problem, and you stick the rock inside.
Yes.
You stick the rock in.
Try to wedge it in there, but yes, inside of it.
Yeah. You wedge it in there more or less to try to stop the water, or to just put the rock in there.
To try to stop the water.
Okay, go ahead and roll for me athletics.
Oh, whoops. Okay. Athletics. Yeah, it's about right.
You get jammed in there a little more tightly than you expected, but you accidentally curve it, so some of the water is dribbling around it, but it's currently stuck in there. So you kind of did it. It's slowed down to a trickle.
Taylor's mom's gonna be mad.
Maybe.
Yeah, that didn't work.
I want to say after a while, the lion's head that is currently spewing out water has stopped. Even with you jamming the rock in there, eventually it would have. So like 15 minutes later, the water has stopped flowing. So no longer water is flowing inside this room.
And still nothing coming out of the lion up top.
No.
Okay.
Talen's like, I could have sworn that was it. You guys are doing a great job.
And how is it that you do not know how to get back to your own house?
What?
Servants.
Who says I don't know?
I'm sorry.
Who
How's
says
it-
that?
So
I know how to do it.
I said the DC was 18, so he was close. So I gave you the poem. Not close enough. That would
Yeah.
make you succeed.
You guys just
Gotcha.
need to learn
what
some culture.
what is right here on top of that circle there?
Like very ornate elven scriptures inside of it. It's like heavily bound in with precious stones. I don't think you saw when one of you took a rock from the still waters. But similar to those stones, but fully formed. You can tell that this type of material is likely used for keeping a spell going. So more than likely, it is there to activate a spell once all the components are met.
And you said that the stones look like what stone now?
Honestly, they look kind of like whetstones. Stones you would use to maybe like sharpen other things, like swords
Okay.
and stuff. But they also look like precious casting agents. Like wizards and stuff like that would use them to maybe cast spells or like to hold concentration on things or to maybe use the material to make other things like pearls of power or other things.
Just magical items of other sorts.
Yeah, if you
Does it
weren't
look-
if you weren't Kaithal, you maybe wouldn't have picked that up, but since you quite literally work in this type of field, you would know
do the
that.
same thing?
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah,
look,
that's
or
true.
do they look anything like the stone that Tolwyn picked up?
I don't think you
Out of
saw
that
that
hole?
stone. But
No,
at a game,
that's-
yes.
I guess I didn't. So I don't want to metagame, but do I see him with the stone?
I
Are
think
you
he
holding
like
the
has
stone
it
out?
randomly from time to time.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Like, it's a cool rock. I just found it.
Cool. What if you put it back in the hole now that everything's back in place? Or all the things we think maybe are in the way they should be?
Sure, I can put it back where I found it.
We picked it up, or you picked it up right when we got here, right? Before we moved any of the statues.
Yeah, I can go put it back.
Just
I'll
to
go
see
put
if
the
it
rock.
works. Maybe that's
You put your precious back in the water. After maybe
My
a minute,
precious.
Kaithal, you do hear running, trickling water from your statue again. And then eventually it does go over the rock you jammed in there. It's still jammed in there, but the water is flowing again.
Okay.
It's floating more than before then?
What was that?
Now,
Like, it's like so much pressure that like Before the rock was able to hold it back, but now it's too much pressure.
No. Or actually, you don't know. Maybe.
Underneath Kalen's token right there, is there another hole for the stone by any chance?
There's like the entire thing is like a groove inside the ground, so any place you can place it in there.
Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if it was like a
like a specific spot.
Yeah, like a specific indentation that the stone had to sit in. Okay.
I'd like to ask something.
Yes.
The area my character is at, is there anything there? A pedestal, pillars?
As you stand next to the pillars themselves, you do see what appeared to be a podium area where someone would carry like chests and things for maybe rituals or maybe some type of offering. You do see like inlined marks as if something was left there for quite some time. Kind of like if someone puts a cup of coffee without a coaster on their desk, but chest size. Go ahead and roll investigation. That's not terrible. You can tell that there used to be a chest here, and you do see some more or less composite material that was left over, like some gold filigree, chips of metal here and there, some silver ones too. This area maybe used to be highly kept up, but no longer. Although if you like pick up all that, I would say air quotes, unair quotes, junk metal, it would be equivalent to maybe 5 gold.
No. I'm more worried about what this statue... I assume the statue must hold the key, but I'm not sure what. Does Thailand not remember seeing any of the statues in a particular position when he walks through here?
He rolled 16. So no. Like, he goes out to see how you guys are doing, and he more or less remembers that these statues are close enough of how he remembers them.
There's
like one thing he
Because-
can't quite remember, so there's only like one thing left that is not exactly how it should be.
I want to try to investigate this circle over here again.
Yeah.
And try to see if there's any part of this ring that might be missing, or any part of it that might look like it's out of sorts. Like maybe it's not in a spot it should be. I don't know, but I'm going to try it anyway.
All right, that's a specific thing. So, investigation.
Investigation. Wow, I am not very investigative.
I mean, 13 isn't bad.
No.
You can tell, like, before, the area itself is, like, broken down, decrepit. But this area itself is quite clean, as if someone has been maintaining it. But you can see, like, groove marks broken in here and there. But, like, not so broken in, it would disturb this thing. Based off of what you can see, based off of the symbolism of the elves that likely wrote all over these stones, it does have the spell, more or less, having to do with transportation, but you're not quite sure which spell that is.
Gotcha.
But it moves you
Alright.
somewhere else if it's activated properly. But you don't see
Gotcha.
anything missing, but it is cleaner, and even though it looks just as bad as everything else, it's more maintained than anything else,
Okay.
which is the weird thing.
Gotcha.
Can I come over here?
Yeah?
I'd like to check this side out, if you please.
Okay. You come over towards the wall-like area, and to the south of you, you do see an empty room with like markings here and there that indicate maybe like things were housed in here, like torches, ropes, swords, and stuff like that. But as you move along the side of the wall, you can tell that one of the walls seems to be more or less more fragile than any other, begin to more or less try to move the planks of wood or the stone, and you do, or rather, you are able to turn it a little bit. And inside, you do see a tunnel system that leads outside, or at least you do see a tunnel system that leads to the right of you, with a small little sliver of light.
I guess I try investigating this tunnel a little bit.
You go into the tunnel. It seems to be man-made without any true formality of structure. You go towards where the light is, and you are able to move it. And outside, you do see the forest. It's a secret tunnel you can use to escape if something bad happens here.
Okay.
I will tell you, it's nothing.
I thought it might have been related to the light part.
It does cast more light in. You know what? I'll give you that. Even though it wasn't one of my hints, I'll give you it. As you cast more light into the area, Tillin's there. Tillin, you do see that the golden, air quotes, eyed lion main statue does have a weird shade to it, as if the shadows around it seem to be not exactly solid. But you can also tell that the eyes themselves begin to glow more and more due to the light. It doesn't seem to be magical, just reflective. And you can tell that the eyes themselves seem to be more and more like moving water, even though there is no moving water.
Does Talon tell us this?
Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. As I'm like eating something and drinking something. Then I tell you guys everything that you just said. Water. I water. Yes.
I take out a torch and light it up and bring it towards the statue.
You see the reflective light around the eyes act like water. You do see the shadows or silhouettes around the head. More or less, not a solid form, but one of... the best way I can describe it is as if the head itself is on something. So there's a solid form on top, a thinner shadow in the middle, and then a solid form on the bottom. Think cube, cylinder, cube.
Is the head supposed to be floating on something?
That's what the shadows depict.
Can I try moving the head up and down?
You try to move it up and down and nothing happens. Like you're trying to say yes. Nothing happens. But you can hear like weird crushing marks as if stone on stone is being scraped. But like very indistinguishable.
Can I move it in any way?
You move it back and forth, you move it diagonally, and then you move it right to left like the rest of the statues, and you are able to do that. I am surprised it took this long.
Guys, I can move this lion statue up here, but I'm not sure exactly where to point it at. I guess I'll try pointing it to the left where the water statue is at.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds right.
You point it to the left, and you do hear a ka-shunk. And who's in the room? I guess Tolwyn is.
Kaithal.
Well, Kaithal, yes, is in the room. But Tolwyn, Angel room specifically. At Tolwyn, as you step inside, you can tell the angel statue itself. It's the emblem of the Elven Pantheon begins to glow, and then the hilt of the weapon, air quotes, like falls to the ground and strikes it, but it doesn't ever like remove itself from the hands of the angel statue. When that happens, you're not sure where it happens, but Kaithal, inside your room, you do hear a warping... No, not yet. You do hear a warping sound, as if something just activated. And when you go to maybe hear where it is or try to move away from it, it's too late as the spell just pops up. Thankfully enough, you weren't close enough that it just sends you where it's going to send you. But the portal has been fulfilled.
Hey guys, I think it worked.
I start running down there.
Rush, 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 rush. You see the lineman head statue with driblets of water. I guess it technically still works. It is running.
I guess we humans are smart enough to solve this after all.
I don't know
Who are
about
you
that.
I
calling
just wanted you to be able to prove it to yourselves.
Oh, well, you're nicer than you appear.
Well, I've been here the whole time. I'm just having lunch. What have you been doing?
I said you're nicer than you appear because you gave me a compliment.
Oh, yes. I'm like swaying a little bit. You're very, very handsome. Very handsome man. Now, let's go. It took you guys so long. I'm like drunk over here.
Okay. Eventually, you guys solved the puzzle, which I didn't think it'd take this long.
I'm like the worst puzzle person ever. Like I don't know. I can solve some things if I can see them, but if I can't see it, if I hear it described to me, I'm like,
that's fair. I honestly thought Cerberus figured it out immediately. Like, is there any indication of like light from or like life from this statue? Yeah, it's like a cleric, so I guess it's symbolic of life. Like, oh man, he figured it out already. Life, light, obviously cleric. They're gonna get it immediately. 30 minutes later.
I was trying to get light to be reflected off the statue in some fashion.
Well, you guys still got it wrong, but I thought you were closer.
Yeah, well, that'll happen. And that will happen.
Also, technically, the angel statue didn't have to be moved.
But it was fun.
I thought the statue was supposed to reflect light or send light. That's what I was trying to make it do.
It was more symbolic than anything else.
So the only thing that was important was the lion head?
No. The statues need to be moved the way they were. The sword bearers could have been horizontally the way you put them, or horizontally facing the angel woman. Because technically, I just needed them horizontal, so it worked no matter what. The spear bearers did need to point their spears towards the life cleric. So that one was actually needed as well. All of them were needed. The running water itself was also needed, so when Tolwyn took the rock, it was its focus to continue to cast, so a little concerned about that. He did put it back, though. So you guys did get it. Just in a weird roundabout way.
I expected the elves' houses to be a bit more fancy looking, not
This is just the poor district. Which, honestly, it's still fancier than most houses.
I still expected it to be more fancy than made out of cowhide.
As you look and gaze upon the, air quotes, poorer district of the area, you can tell that there are some leatherwork areas around it. You can see that there are high-grade mammoth tusks that go for a good amount of money. The cowhide may be looking leathers, as you look closer to them, have rivulets of crystalline structures to them. So scale rather than cowhide. However, there are some cowhide areas where like the curtains and stuff are. You know, it can't be too expensive. But as you roam into the city, you can tell that a lot of elves are like looking at you guys heavily hushed, and like immediately you can tell that they're on their guard, see who you guys are with, and then like say nothing.
I ignore them and just continue walking forward. To me, this is no big deal. I come from an even worser place now that I know and understand exactly how horrible my home was. I come from a fucked up place. It's not as if I can even recognize how they're acting socially. My character, is completely ignorant of their socialness. So he's like, meh, I don't even recognize it.
I guess. That's fair. You can tell that they move away from you guys. Like not even want to be near you.
I give a bright smile and a wave.
They like look away from you whenever you look towards them.
As if I'm thinking, oh, they're being so nice. Is this Oh, hey, guys. Is the fact that they're moving away, just giving us space to walk through, a sign of their niceties? Is this how you're supposed to be nice here?
I don't believe that's what they're trying to do so much as maybe stay away from someone. And I turn to look at Tolwyn, or not Tolwyn. I'm sorry, Talon.
You look at
I have
Tolwyn.
my
He looks
I
at
have my
you.
hood up.
And I look at Tolwyn. Why the hell are you here? Yeah, I look at Talon like, is there something we should know
When they see
before?
Talon, however, like you see Service moving, they move away from him, look disgusted, and turn away. When they see Tolwyn, they immediately like present themselves as if they're bowing down, but not fully and completely because they're still doing their day to day. But they like don't draw attention to themselves, head down as if very what's the word? I'm just gonna say bowing down for now.
Respectful.
More like
Anyway, well, I have my face
respect.
hidden. I have my face hidden in my cloak, whatever, so no one can see me. And I just I don't have any marks or insignias
Oh,
on
if
me
you
or
have
anything.
that, then they don't do that. They just look at you in disgust.
Yeah. I don't want anyone knowing
They are like
back in town.
fascinated by Kythal, but they don't approach him since he's not from here.
Yes, it's not kind of approach other slaves. Anyway,
Yeah. In the background, you do hear some people state, "Is that an Eladrin? No, it can't be. It's been several centuries since anyone of their kind has ever been brought here. He might be good for an experiment or here and there, but I suppose we can deal with that once the High Mother gets to him." And Talon, you would know the High Mother is your mom.
Yep.
I also started you off in the wrong section, but that's fine. You go south instead of going north and then east. Sorry, west.
Oh, what direction are we supposed to be going into? I was just going randomly.
The way people keep moving away from you.
That means I have to go south?
Yeah, again, I screwed up on the pattern. It's not important. But eventually, you guys head over towards... actually, Talon, where do you guys go? I'm assuming towards your house.
Yep. That'd be where I would go.
Okay.
I look at the person to my right and I'm like, oh, wow, she's so cute.
You do that. She turns away. Like, with a... how would you think about it? Who knows? Maybe they're like super blushing. It's hard to tell. Their face immediately changed from pleasantries to something else. Maybe she's really into you.
I've never seen anyone quite go that number of shades before. Oh, Talon, who that one cute one from before? What were all those weird shades she was going through?
I don't know. I didn't see her. I lie.
Oh man, this place is so interesting. I've never been in a place like this before. So much different from my old home.
Well, just be careful who you talk to. Remember what you are and where you are. And you won't get yourself into any trouble.
Honestly, I'm not even sure what that is anymore these days.
Well, you're not a high elf.
That
No
is
matter
true.
what day it is.
As you begin to head towards your door, you can tell that most of your attendants are invisible because you have high magic, and like your family has a good amount of magical items that they can create unseen servants. So they honestly populate the area. You do see as you get towards the door, they immediately open towards you. They have been, they are magical, so they know even if you're hiding yourself, Talon, they can see right through you.
Yeah. Well,
so
I'm
they
not trying to hide when I'm home.
Yeah. They open the
I take
door
my
when
head
you
off as I
step
enter the
inside.
door.
The hood was removed. And then you hear one of the higher unseen servants that can talk does state, "Welcome, Master Talon. What do we owe the pleasure to today?"
Yeah, I'm here for my sister's thing, first off, we need 3 flagons of Fey wine, rooms for my friends, and me, obviously. And we'll have 3 roast capons and a suckling pig for dinner.
Of course. Would you like them to be with the servants, or would you like them to have their own rooms?
I look at everybody like, they'll be with me. They're a very high class set of servants. You understand?
Roll deception.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, are we high class? Really?
They're
Well,
controlled by your mom's magic, so don't
Well,
immediately succeed.
I don't see any floating skull brains anywhere.
I had to reload it and I did it again. Oh no! I have advantage.
No.
No.
Again,
Oh, no.
controlled by your mom, so if anything, you have disadvantage, but I won't give you that. It's still 6 though.
Servant. No. Okay. Anyway, I rolled terrible. Okay.
I suppose they can be with you if you care to be in the same room, Master Talon. But I do urge you to watch yourselves amongst the rabble. You may take the second floor alongside the servants, but you don't have to be in the main servants' room.
As long as we have a suite for me and my friends, we'll be fine.
Of course. Your brothers and sisters are currently here, and your mother is at the observatory on the 4th floor.
I raise my hand. I have a question.
Yes.
Please tell my mother. Please, I just speak right over. Please tell my mother of my arrival, and no one else.
Of course.
And tell her I'm at her beck and call as always. And then I asked where we can be shown to freshen up for dinner. And then I said, and then also one of my servants has a question. It looks like.
Yeah. Cyrus, what were you going to say?
What does rabble mean?
Clearly I was right about you. And he just walks away. You hear footsteps walking away, and then you just don't hear them anymore. Never answer your questions. He does tell you, Talon, that you can take the 2nd floor, which is honestly the main room area, but you can take any room you want. Your brothers and sisters technically live somewhere else. You've been the last one to leave, other than your younger sister, from the main home. However, they still use the main home for their works in herbalism, central studies here and there, ritual studies, and stuff of that nature. Basically, magic studies and stuff like that is what the main house is used for. You and your younger sister are the last ones to truly leave the area. You have 3 older brothers and 1 older sister, and then your mom. That being said, though, you've never really cared for them.
Yeah, we've lived separate lives, but I do come home in triumph. I did save my father.
Yeah.
Or release him from his prison, and I do have our family's blade on my hip. So
yeah.
And now that I'm home, I will just display it prominently on my hip.
You do so. And you can tell that the room to the left is where you will eat your meal and drink. There's a washroom adjacent to that, which is not depicted. What technically
I tell everybody where everything is so they can wash up and do all that, and tell everybody to get cleaned up from the road, and we'll have dinner in a little bit. Now you understand why my servants know how to do stuff, because I learned how to cast these spells from my family. So my servants are really good cooks and stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's about to have a feast, and welcome to my house. Don't ask too many questions. I look at Mr. Severus there, especially if you're not an elf. I look at Kyathal. I'm like, you can talk whenever you feel like it. Say whatever you want. You're good. I'm like, do you have any questions, by the way? I know you haven't been here before, and as a fellow elf, I extend you the first gratitude and first hospitality as hopefully the servant comes up with drinks, and I offer it to Kyathal first.
Well,
At the same time, I'm half listening, but I'm more impressed with all the work, like the stone workings of the actual house that we are in. Or I don't know stone workings, but all the workings and the buildings and everything of the house more than what he's even saying.
I mean,
I'm kind of like,
stoneworking is accurate. Inside, or at least
Okay.
on the walls, you can tell that they're grooved inline workings of artisans themselves. It does have like interlined layered magic. So for reinforcement, for the unseen servant spell, which is layered all around the city. Well, not all around the city. They don't give it to the commoners, but all along the house as well. To like, so they can go anywhere and they can be in the room whenever you need them. However, they maintain their most of them maintain their form in the servant corridor, which is on the second floor. So you can see that there's a whole bunch of magic inlined in the stonework itself. You can also see that it has overlayered on top of that actual art pieces of the elven history here and there, and things of that nature, how they took down the drow, killed and pierced them, ran and drove the goblins and the orcs into the shadows themselves. A whole lot of propaganda for the elves.
We did that shit.
It is very beautiful.
No, I don't know. It's your world. I don't know what the fuck we did.
But a lot of it is historically shifted in the favor of the elves.
But aren't the drow still alive?
Yeah, we pushed them down underground though.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
But anyway, I pour like 2 cups because only 2 cups come because there's only 2 elves and their servants.
That is true.
Yeah. So I'm like, I pour 2 cups and I give one to Kyathal and I'm like cheersing him and I like look at our friends and like, oh sorry, I'm so used to back into my old ways again. And I cast prestidigitation like twice and I make like little cups or whatever, and I pour them each like a drink. I'm like, here you guys go.
All right, you quickly drink them because after a minute they disappear.
The cup will be gone. Yes, I tell them, drink up, lads. It will only last a minute.
Hey, Talon, are you excited about your sister's big day?
I mean, I don't really mind killing people, but I'd rather not have to.
I'm sorry, killing?
Yeah. So,
what
yes.
exactly are we here for? I thought it was like a wedding or something. That's in character. Like I'm totally clueless.
Yes. I'm like, well, it could be a wedding, but you see, there's suitors.
Are we
and,
killing the
I don't
groom?
know. I don't know if we're gonna approve of some of them.
Like,
so we have to make sure the right suitors apply.
Talon, you know that this is the coming of age for elves when they've grown old enough to leave the nest, or in most cases of the high elves and high nobles, to be wed off to other families to establish more contracts and things of that nature. You know, what's it called?
Yeah, but what if I don't like the guy?
Nobility wedding. However, at the same time, like this is also integrated with like any other elves that come into age is known as the ceremony or the rite. It's just simply saying that you're old enough to be your own person, to be an adult, and it's celebrated. In Talon's sister's case, it's basically meaning, hey, we now have this person up for market. She's nobility. If there's any suitors around, let us know. It's how nobles dealt with their family back in the day. Honestly,
yeah,
still kind of today.
I might not like the guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, it's probably just a wedding.
In this point in time, it's also to see which suitors are right for you and them. Whether the person you like them or not is not completely there, or at least not necessary. It's just if they are worth the hassle is why they called Talon over here as well. He is.
So Talon explains too that he's also just like, he kind of just tells you guys like it's just kind of annoying that this is family duties I have to do. Like I'm not the oldest, so like I can't be like I can't inherit what's going to be like, you know, for the family and stuff. So like I basically get nothing, but I have to like do this other shit. But like the females in the family can be married off for like benefits and stuff like that. But like no one really wants our second, especially third male of like a household and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why like I went found my own glory.
Like,
and now I'm coming back. Like I don't need to stand on anyone's shoulders. I don't need anyone's inheritance. Like I've done something for myself, for our family, but now I have to do this shit because it's required of me, and I don't like doing anything ever.
Question,
Basically,
Taylor.
your family sees you as useless. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And like, oh, that's interesting.
Yes, I am useless. I am useless to the family. That's why it's funny that I'm bringing this back. Not
Question.
useless anymore, am I?
I would say not.
Cerberus, you were saying.
Question for you, Talon.
Yes. Human. I mean service, sorry.
2 questions. First is, don't you still carry the name and blood of your family? Wouldn't they still... It seems odd to me because even back home, those who carry the name and blood of their family, well, it's not really value in the same fashion that you're describing, but they always make sure that all their members are always accounted for and always doing something. They're always important in some form or fashion.
I was supposed to do something. Go find something important to do. That's what I was told to do.
Mm-hmm.
That was my something. So you're not necessarily wrong. But who wants to marry somebody with no inheritance, huh? Who wants to marry somebody who's worth nothing, even in his own family's eyes? Yeah, there's nothing I could do except leave. I was just lucky that I could complete this quest. Otherwise, I'd be out there alone probably the rest of my life. I'd have to come back and do this stupid shit, though.
Well,
But I have something important to show them.
it's definitely different than from home, but in some ways, I guess that's better.
Yeah, elves are better. It's kind of obvious, so don't worry about it.
Well, my second question is
Oh,
can we
okay.
meet your sister? Since we're supposed to protect her, I suppose, can we meet her?
Yeah, you can meet her. Just don't talk to her unless she talks to you first, because you're a human. Don't be rude.
Of course.
Yeah. You can look at her and then maybe she'll look back and say something to you if you want to look like you want to say something to her. But I wouldn't talk to her first.
You
It's been a
also
while since I've seen her, but if my mom's got her hooked into her, she would be pretty old fashioned. She might order your execution herself. Although when I left a few years back, she was pretty sweet. So we'll find out.
Yeah, you always know your sister was a little sweetheart, a little weird in the family because she never truly stuck to how things were done in nobility. Welcome back, Tolwyn. She was more or less the black sheep of the family, but she was the youngest and the most prosperous because she had the greatest amount of potential of magic. So she was someone of value in the House of the Nobles.
Well, let's go say hi.
When let's go say hi, you do hear one of the servants in the room. You don't know where they are because, again, invisible. State, presenting the Madam of the House and the Lady of the Land, Miss Terra. And the doors do open on their own, but you can tell it's the unseen servants.
None of us are clean. Okay.
And Talon, your
I
mom,
prestidigitation myself, like I'm cleaning myself.
Steps in with a silver-lined cane with an eagle on top of it, but with a lion's mane head on top of that, much like a griffin, but in a weird way. No, owl. Not, sorry, owl. No, I think it's owl. I forget. Anyways, you do see that she stands at attention there. You do see that your plates are quickly taken away, your drinks gone, Tolwyn and Cerberus's magical glasses like break and shatter and disappear. Before the liquids can hit the ground or the table, they are washed away thanks to the servants. Like immediately your tables are like washed off and gone. Maybe out of fear.
Mother, dearest.
Ah, my youngest son.
I bow like graciously. Like I'm
Oh no,
prodigal son
no.
has returned.
You've already came here, decided to eat and drink. rather than seeing your mother for the first thing you do here. I'm
Mother,
sure
I was
you had your
hungry.
reasons, I'm
You're
sure.
busy. I wanted to celebrate. I wanted you to come in to see us celebrating. And well,
Oh,
I
we were
nudge.
celebrating.
so you decide to
I
eat
nudge
before I get
Severus
here.
and very quietly go, "Ooh, he's in trouble."
I draw the blade out. I'm like, Mother, we have much to celebrate. Look, I've completed the quest you've sent me on, one that was so dear to your heart.
Mm.
And I say that kind of maybe not mockingly, but like maybe not sincerely. Like I show,
You have
display
sent word of
Roricon.
your accomplishment some time ago. You did send a letter to your mom.
Yeah, I
And
did.
of the thing that happened to your father, whatever that thing did to him. I suppose
Yeah.
in some regard I can overlook you eating before the matriarch of your home gets here. So the two cancel out.
I probably should have asked what time it was before I started ordering food, I guess, but whatever.
They've been close to dinner time. But she does state. So
I try and deceive her. I'm like, I ordered it for you. I ordered to celebrate with you.
roll deception with disadvantage.
Roll. All right, I got this.
You might have it.
What was the last thing that he said?
Yeah.
You don't have it. I did this all for you. Tara does state, I'm sure you think that, dear. Maybe sending you out so young wasn't the right thing to do. Regardless, though, even though you are my third son, you did accomplish something to the household. So I will dismiss this, Mark. You
So we're
see
no
that
longer
she
in
goes
disgrace.
over towards a blackboard, and you do see like your siblings' names on there with like marks all over the place. Your like younger sister has like so many of them, and you have like 32. But your older brothers and your older sister like have like maybe 4 or 5, and she like chalks up another mark on yours, and then like erases it. But I suppose it'll wash away thanks to your one accomplishment. And then like puts the chalk down and comes back towards the table.
Is it a fancy chalk?
Yeah, technically you can use it to cast spells and stuff, and she's just using it for standard.
Well,
Basically pitting her children against each other.
well, Mother, as always, it's a pleasure to see you. I'm here to do my duty.
It's the very
And then I'll
least
be
you
off
can
again.
do.
I will not be a bother to you, I promise. Things will go on here as normal. It's just me and my slaves here.
None of them bear up marks. I assume they're newly acquired. Either that
yeah.
or you're
And then
lying to your mother again.
What? Me?
I can understand mixing in with the rabble when you need to, but there's no need
Okay,
to
well,
lie to
maybe
me,
some
son.
of them aren't slaves, okay? I'm just saying. Humans aren't always bad.
Regardless. I have yet to find a suitor for you, so we are still looking into that. But you may, as your father once said, as you are growing old, sow your seeds in other lands to watch them grow and prosper. That being said,
Yeah.
don't make any
I thought anyone
half-elves out
wants me.
there, son. There's only so much I can be disappointed in you.
Whoa. I said humans weren't half bad. I didn't say human women were good looking. That's disgusting, Mother. Come on. Don't. That's just rude.
Your father,
Haven't seen it in
before
a
we
while, but-
married, did, as the humans put it, pick up trash along the way. And you are his
Are you
youngest
sure
son.
he was willing?
You would likely have his worst traits. That
Are you
being
sure he
said,
was willing?
what was that?
I said, are you sure he was willing?
Who
When
knows?
those evil wenches tried to attack him with their sex bits.
Hard to say. Regardless, though, I do welcome you back, son. And
Yes, I feel it.
companions.
Feel the warm welcome.
The event for your sister will be this weekend in about 3 days. Cutting it a little close there, But I suppose you are here 3 days early rather than the 2 weeks I gave you time for. I'm sure you have your
Well,
reasons.
of course. I know you don't want me here, and well, I don't want to be here, and well, now I won't be here very long, and I'll do what you need me to do, and
But you
goodbye
are
again.
expected when I call, as you
Sure.
well know.